What's up, Melody Fang here, and today we will be doing another video on Let's Spin the Prize, Let's Spin the Wheel. Who's our next character analysis video? John Kreese. Okay, it chose John Kreese. So this video will be about Kreese, his life, his history, his redemption, and his killing of Tory's mom. Yeah, of course, I don't know if he actually did or not, but this is a John Kreese video. So yeah, John Kreese was born at some point, and usually I talk about these characters where I go season by season, but since John Kreese isn't the over-universal character, I'll talk about him this way. John Kreese was born at some point, and after his mom's death, and he grew up with his mother. Who knows about his father? But, yeah, we don't know anything about John Kreese Jr., John Kreese Sr., but we all know that John Kreese was born to his mom, but then his mom died, and then he, in the 1970s, in the 1960s, I think it was 1960s, he started taking up work. Of course, when we first meet Kreese, young Kreese, not old Kreese, young Kreese, played by Barrett Canahan, who we all know as Link from the Thunderman, and Jeanette's brother from Cruel Summer, but more I know him from Link from the Thunderman. But anyway, aside from that, So when one of the bullies, David, played by Martin Cove's actual son, Jesse Cove, rejects being in the military, young Kreese sees this and is like, I'll join before being kicked by David. Of course his girlfriend Betsy, David's girlfriend Betsy, sees this and is obviously in love with Kreese. Yeah, things don't work out for Betsy. But anyway, she's in love with Kreese. So, yeah. So that day, Kreese decides to go out and fight the bullies. He decides to go out and fight the bullies. Defeating David, but winning Betsy's heart. But of course, he and Betsy are torn apart when he decides to go off to join the war effort in Vietnam. Join the Vietnam War. Of course, this is the last time we see of Betsy, but she'll come back later. So Kreese decides to go off and join the war effort. That's where he meets his two best friends, Ponytail, who is or not the actual father of his future karate pupil, Johnny Lawrence, and that's people believe that Ponytail is the father of Johnny, because Johnny had that army man, and Ponytail was in the war, and Ponytail's last words were Johnny, which could not be to John Kreese, but to Johnny Lawrence. We'll never know. The show has never said or not if Johnny's dad was Ponytail or not. But anyway, if Kreese. But anyway, so we meet Ponytail and Terry Twig Silver. Yeah, who knew? We thought that when this came out, we all thought that Ponytail was really Terry Silver because Terry Silver was a ponytail. But we had no idea that Twig was truly Terry Silver. So they all meet with Captain Turner. And Captain Turner is the first one to to train Kreese. But of course, that's when tragedy strikes for Kreese. As Captain Turner learns that Betsy is dead, but decides to keep it a secret from Kreese, not wanting his emotions to get in the way of his training. I think that's what it is. But yeah, the fact that his girlfriend died and he spent years thinking he'd come back to her, that is messed up. That is messed up. But still, it's messed up. So, yeah. So, over time, they start doing missions and being trained by Captain Turner. And then one day, when Silver or Twig's radio won't go off, that's when they're alerted by the enemy. And the enemy, I mean the Vietnamese, killed Ponytail in response. And yeah. So then they're supposed to have a fight to the death. And that's when Silver decides to go, but Kreese is like, nah, he got it. But Turner's like, yeah, I'm sorry, bro, but your girlfriend, Betsy, she's been dead for centuries. Oh, I mean, she's been dead for about a year. She's been dead for years. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got Flash references when I said that. Just the way the reverse Flash said that. But anyway, aside from that, so this motivates Kreese to start taking in his master's wording and fight Silver. Wait, no, not fight Silver. Fight Turner. And using Turner's own method against him, he kicks Turner. He says, "No mercy," and kicks Turner into the snake pit to his death. Kicks Turner to the snake pit to his death. So then Kreese saves everyone, and Terry decides from this moment on that he will slowly vow to John. He will swear loyalty to John, and whenever John needs him in his life, he will be there. So then, over like a year later, I think, they get both matching Cobra tattoos and decide to open the Cobra Kai dojo. Together. But Terry's like, sorry, bro, he can't. His dad wants him to inherit his business, and if he doesn't, he will lose his inheritance money. But over time, then that's when he meets Johnny Lawrence, and Johnny trains him. He trains Johnny, but then at some point, he and Terry decide to go to Korea to train under Turner's old sensei, Kim Sun-yeon. There it is. And he is a harsh teacher, and he trains them. That's when Silver reveals to Kreese that he wants to train him in the Sekai Takai. He wants to take Cobra Kai into the Sekai Takai. So it will train them globally. But John's like, yeah, not right now. He's kind of too busy to train Johnny, and he can't do it. So when they're about to leave, Kreese decides to defend Kim Daeun, and she agrees to, and finally allow Kim Sun-yeon to train her. So yeah, I guess over the years he and Terry must keep in. So now we get to the Karate Kid, an awesome movie, and yeah. So yeah, Kreese would eventually teach Johnny to an all-out. Now we get to pre-Karate Kid. I forgot to say that. Kreese would eventually take Johnny into his All Valley tournament, and Johnny would win an All Valley tournament, would win one All Valley tournament, then he would do a second one. Actually, he would lose one, he would win one, then he would win again. But then on his third year, we'll get to that, where he lost to Daniel, so he's only two-time All Valley champion. So yeah, but anyway, so when we meet Kreese first time in the Karate Kid, he's teaching a lesson when he hears about when Johnny gives him the black eye. When he hears about Mr. Miyagi, when Johnny tells him how some crazy old man named Mr. Miyagi jumped him and his friends when they were just doing nothing. So they confront Johnny and Daniel, and say that no fighting until the tournament. So then at the tournament, they decide to fight. Kreese is upset that Daniel is advancing, so he tells Bobby Brown to injure Daniel. Bobby Brown doesn't want to, but of course he's forced to. And then during the fight with Johnny, he tells Johnny to sleep the leg. Then he tells Johnny to finish Daniel when he says finish him, and then Daniel finishes him. This obviously peeves off Kreese, as in Karate Kid 2, which is his only appearance on the film. He breaks Johnny's trophy and calls him a loser and almost kills him if it wasn't for Mr. Miyagi saving Johnny's life. In Karate Kid 3, Kreese is now down on his luck. His students have abandoned him, he can't get jobs, and he's on his own. That's when he goes to Terry Silver to help, to give him the key, to give him back Cobra Kai. But Terry's like, Yo, John, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve this. I will get your revenge for you. I will make Daniel and Mr. Miyagi suffer for what they put you through, bro. So he sends John to Tahiti, where Kreese stays there for the entire film, while Terry makes it look like Kreese died, until when Johnny confronts Terry. That's when Kreese shows up. Kreese and Miyagi reunite, but Kreese is able to defeat both of them. Obviously, Miyagi's able to defeat both of them, and even mocks Terry. Wow! Wow! I love that moment. But anyway, so at the second All Valley, Terry has told Mike Barnes to make Daniel suffer. But Daniel's able to win, and Cobra Kai is banned for 35 years for what they did for what Mike did try to do to Daniel. Obviously, Kreese would stop contacting Silver, and he would try to enlist in a bunch of wars, but due to his old age and his craziness, no one would want him. So he's forced to stay into a retirement home until Cobra Kai comes around, and initially believing Kreese to have died, as that's what Johnny tells the All Valley Committee, that Kreese died. Kreese would eventually come back into the play when he sees that Johnny has led Miguel and Cobra Kai to victory. So he decides to come back. Decides to come back. But Johnny's like, "Yo, dude, you ruined my life. You made my life crap. I'm not gonna come back to you. Cobra Kai is mine, and I'm not gonna let you control it." But of course, Kreese is a manipulator, so he basically just uses a trophy. He basically just says, "Oh, Johnny, here's your fixed trophy," and Johnny's like, "Okay, dude, you can come back, but now you're under my rule." But of course, this is Kreese we're talking about. He is not gonna listen to Johnny. Of course he does, but as soon as Johnny leaves, but in episodes, of course he does. He does let Johnny take control. But as soon as Johnny steps out of the dojo to visit Tommy in episode 6 of season 2 of Cobra Kai, he takes right control, telling Tory to finish Mitch. And of course Miguel's like, "Dude, this is not what we were taught. We're not taught this no mercy stuff." But of course Kreese is like, "Bro, this is real life, bro. This is not a tournament, and you should be fighting dirty." Of course, Miguel would later apologize to Kreese, and Kreese would take them to Coyote Creek, where in the battle with Hawk, Kreese tells Miguel to finish Hawk. This is upsets Johnny, so Johnny's like, "I was dumb to think you could actually change, get out." But of course, this doesn't stop Kreese. It's John Kreese. So what does Kreese do? He makes a deal with Johnny's upset landlord, who's mad at Johnny because he uses Johnny's landlord. He uses Johnny's landlord being mad at him as a way to basically be like, yeah, with me at Control Cobra Kai, I'll give you better rent. So yeah, they make a deal, and Johnny in the finale is shocked to learn that Kreese has now taken back Cobra Kai. Johnny, upset that both his girlfriend Carmen has broken up with him and the state of Miguel's injury, gives Kreese back Cobra Kai. Now in season 3, this is where all the flashbacks came from, but we're focusing on modern Kreese. In episode 1, all we see of modern Kreese, all we see of Kreese is when Daniel confronts him. When Daniel confronts him, looking for Johnny, thinking Johnny's still... When Daniel goes into Cobra Kai, still thinking that Johnny owns it. Of course, he's shocked to still learn that Kreese is there, and... He's shocked to learn that Kreese is there, of course. But, anyway, aside from that, we have the scene. So, yeah, so Kreese is taking Cobra Kai fully to the dark side. He kicks out Bert and some of the other Cobra Kais for not being strong enough to put a hamster in a snake. So, yeah. And then he helps Tory deal with her landlord, allowing her to come back into Cobra Kai. So, yeah. Then he tries to get Johnny to rejoin Cobra Kai, saying he'll help their boy get back on their feet. Johnny, thinking that Kreese is talking about Miguel, says stay away from him and his family. But, yeah, no, Kreese doesn't care about Miguel. He's talking about Robbie. But why would he say our boy? I don't know. He said our boy, let's get him back on his feet. And Miguel and Johnny thinking that, oh, feet, he means Miguel. But no, he was actually talking about Robbie. So he goes to Robbie and Juvie, and tries to basically like, bro, you are not, leave that whole balance thing at a tournament. When you're in a prison, you have to strike first. So Robbie first dismisses Kreese, saying like, bro, I don't need you either. But first uses his attacks on Sean, and then when Robbie gets out of prison, he dismisses both Johnny and Daniel, telling them both to stay out of his life, and goes to near Kreese. I'm mentioning Robbie here. So Kreese allows Robbie to stay, which obviously peeves off the other Cobra Kai as they dislike Robbie and blame him for Miguel's injury, which is true, but they blame him in the Miyagi-Do. So, but over time, they eventually welcome him, and Tory and him start a relationship, which we'll get to. Actually, we won't get to him and Robbie and Tory's relationship, but we'll get to. So, yeah. So yeah. Oh wait, no, I forgot to talk about in this episode. That was episode 9. In episode 8, Kreese shows up to the All Valley board, and fights with Johnny and Daniel. But in episode 10, in episode 9, at the end of episode 9, he tells the Cobra Kais that Sam and Miguel are back together, and that they're forming an alliance between two dojos, which peeves off Tory and Robbie. So, off screen, he tells Miguel and Tory to invade. He tells Tory, aside from Robbie, to invade the LaRusso household. He trains Robbie, and obviously this is the moment where John, after finding out what Kreese did, after finding out that the Cobra Kai's beat up Miguel, he confronts Kreese, only to see him train Robbie. Kreese is like, oh, here, Johnny. Now we have both. Now we have both new and old Cobra Kais here. We can crush that snowflake generation of Miyagi-Do. That snowflake generation. Miguel, obviously, Johnny's like, crap you, bro. I'm not joining anything with you. And they get into a big fight. Johnny defeats Kreese, but then Rob makes a dumb move, saying that Johnny isn't strong enough or something. He'd just be a sensei. And And then Robbie says, yeah, Robbie says, Kreese is right. He should defeat his biggest enemy. And his biggest enemy right now is Johnny. So he fights Johnny, but Johnny's able to knock out Robbie, but is distracted, but goes check up on him, but gets distracted by Kreese. So, but that's when Daniel shows up, peeved off about Kreese saying the Cobra Kai is to attack his kids and his home. So, they get into a big fight. And, yeah, almost defeated. Kreese makes a plea saying that, yeah, bro, we can win. Let's make a deal. Tournament. If I win, if you win, I'll go. But if you lose, but if I win, if I lose, I'll go. But if you lose, and Johnny cuts him off saying, we won't lose. Yeah, he did. And so, Robbie still, but Sam and Daniel show up, and Sam and Miguel show up, and Robbie still further rejects both of his fathers, both of his mentors, by saying, get out of here, and goes in with Kreese. So then at the end of the episode, he calls up his old pal Terry Silver. But as we see in season 4, Terry Silver immediately rejects it and hangs up. So Kreese decides to venture out on his own to go see his old friend Terry. Terry's always shocked by this and is like, bro, I'm not coming back with you. What I did, I basically tried to beat up some teenagers. Yeah. This bro realized the error of his ways and was like, yeah, he tried to beat up a kid. He tried to beat up a kid and an old man. Like, literally, he's trying to beat up a kid and an old man. He is not ready for that. So, Kreese leaves. But as soon as Kreese leaves, Terry realizes that, yeah, he still got the fight in him. And as soon as he realizes that, his Terry Silver persona, Terry Silver is able to reemerge and is able to come back, and so Terry goes to Kreese and is like, fine, I'll join you. I'll rejoin Cobra Kai, and from now on, and then from then on, the Terry Silver that we know and love is finally back on our screen. So yeah. So Terry and Silver both try to teach Cobra Kai, while they decide to go up on Miguel and Johnny. Silver and Johnny meet for the first time, which is, as Johnny previously stated in season 1, he had no idea who Terry Silver is, so this is their first meeting. Johnny gets into Kreese's ear and tries to manipulate him by being like, dude, you're always gonna play second fiddle to Daniel. Literally, he tries to do the same thing to Tory in season 6. And unlike Johnny, he actually does get Tory to rejoin Cobra Kai. But kind of funny that he did the same thing that he tried to do on Johnny. He later does on Tory, but unlike Johnny, where Johnny immediately rejects him, Tory goes back to Cobra Kai out of grief over her mom. But anyway, aside from that, so yeah. So aside from that, so Terry takes Kenny under his wing. I'll get to Kenny video soon, but yeah, the Kenny video soon. But anyway, the Kenny video is soon. Just saying, the Kenny video is soon. Kreese and Silver get into a fight over their different styles, and after being dismissed by Kreese, Silver tries to get in. Stingray tries to get in with Silver. Silver, of course, beats him up, and this comes into play later on in season 5, at the end of the season. But yeah. But yeah. Everything comes to a head in episodes 8 and 9. No, 9 and 10. It's time for the All Valley Tournament. This is the biggest with rivals old and new. I don't know how to say the guy's thing, but anyway. So yeah. So on Kreese's side, Daniel discovers what Robbie has been teaching the Cobra Kai about the Miyagi-Do stuff. And then in fight against Kenny, Kenny's like, bro, are you fighting your enemy? Robbie, are you fighting your enemy or your friend? So Robbie goes hard on Kenny. Then during the fight between Tory and Rob, Kreese is like, yeah, hurt Tory. But then Kreese realizes what he made a mistake with Johnny and is like, no, don't listen to Silver. Go do your own stuff. Of course, thanks to a paid ref by Silver, Cobra Kai wins. But in the celebration, Silver reveals that yeah, he told Stingray to tell the police that John Kreese punched him, and now John Kreese gets sent off to jail. Kreese said he is Cobra Kai. Like a Star Wars villain, because like a Star Wars villain. So he says he is Cobra Kai and gets hauled away to jail. Then we don't see him again until episodes later when Tory goes to visit him in jail, telling him about how she had to lie to Robbie. She's currently in a dojo with Silver, who she fears. And yeah. So over the course of the season, she keeps even though they kind of are exaggerating how long Kreese is in jail for. Yeah, he assaulted Stingray apparently, and he's in jail for this long time and can't get out. Like, okay, if he got jail for other crimes, I understand, but they're really exaggerating this whole thing. But anyway, aside from that, it's that they're really exaggerating this whole thing. Really exaggerating this whole thing. They're really exaggerating that. Who would go to jail for this long? Kreese, I guess. So, yeah. I also like that therapy session where Kreese imagines like everyone in his life. Like first he imagines Turner, then Betsy, then Silver, then young Johnny, then Tory. It's such and wow, that CGI remaking of young Johnny looked so good. The way they did that, the way they reimagined young Johnny and made him look so good, and then just morphed him to adult Johnny was really good. But anyway, so yeah. Eventually, Kreese realizes that yeah, he's never getting out, and tells Tory to fend for herself. Tory's peeved off that she literally had to lie to everyone for Kreese, and now Kreese is literally cutting her off. So yeah. So then Kreese gets into a fight. He fakes his death, and then he fakes his death with Jello. So then in season 6, Kreese flies to South Korea. Yeah. In this season, he goes back to see his old friend Kim Daeun from last season. And yeah, he flies to Korea. Last season ended with him walking out of a hospital. Out of prison. Not hospital, prison. And now this season the first episode ends with him arriving in South Korea. He reunites with his old friend Kim Daeun. And Kim Daeun says that, yeah, the only reason why she came to America was to see Kreese. But Silver lied to her and made her be a Star Wars villain. She actually shouldn't say that, but she acted like a Star Wars villain. So, yeah. So So Kreese finds out that Kim Sun-young is still alive and well, and he's now played by Dexter actor C.S. Lee. So he's now played by Dexter actor C.S. Lee. So that Kreese is like, yeah, bro, we let me bring Cobra Kai back to the Sekai Tekai, which would, I don't know how he's able to get into the Sekai Tekai. Like Silver was the one to enter Cobra Kai into the Sekai Tekai and be approved, but apparently Kreese is just able to take that spot. How? That makes no sense. Kreese would have to enter and he would have to do the whole thing again, but no, he can just get in because this is a show about karate fights. This doesn't take total thing like, oh, Kreese would have to do what Silver did, having to audition his fighters to see which one of them would enter. No, he's just able to put himself in a placement because Terry Silver isn't there. That would be impossible. Because Silver had to do all this stuff by showing off his fighters and had to sign up. But not Kreese. He's just able to do it. He's just able to sign him up. But back to the show. First off, Kim Sun says no at first. Because he's like, bro, look at what Kim Jong-un put herself through in America. Having trained a bunch of kids. So yeah, no, I'm not doing it. But Kreese decides to do it anyway and decides to put himself in a cave to get Kim Sutton's knife. But of course, he's bitten by a snake. He's bitten by a snake. And he's and even though we know that Johnny's his biggest weakness, the show decides to say, look, Johnny's his biggest weakness. Like, we don't know that already. So he fights Johnny, his biggest weakness. Like, we knew this already. Why are you trying to tell us this again? We already knew that he and Johnny was his weakness. We don't, like, when he forced Silver in season 4 to stop fighting Johnny. Like, we knew this already. We don't need to be told this again. So Silver is he's confronted by young Silver and Johnny and an adult Johnny and a Cobra Kai gi, which looked cool. But yeah. And he's able to defeat them both, conquering his fear, which we already knew was Johnny. But this episode really had to reinforce that. Wow, this season's kind of not that good. Wow. Finally, Cobra Kai season where I'm like, wow, they really dropped the ball on this one. We already know that Johnny's weakness is Kreese's weakness is Johnny. We don't have to be told by this. So Kreese delivers the head of the snake to Kim and is able to get Cobra Kai into the Sekai Tekai, which again is impossible because he wasn't the one who registered them in. But who cares? This is a show. We're just allowing Kreese in, but he didn't do anything to give them the spot. He's just being allowed in. So Kreese trains his students, but then he's like, yeah, they're missing the piece of the puzzle. So then the finale, Kreese goes up to Tory. Yeah, Kreese goes up to Tory and is like, yeah. He tries to do what he did to Johnny by saying, yeah, you're just playing second fiddle to the Miyagi-Do, and you're not one of them, actually. Tory's like, yeah, crap you, bro. You talk. You're the one that abandoned me, told me to leave myself, and forced me to be in a dojo with a madman, with a crazy person. And then when I leaned on you, you left me high and dry. So who cares what you think? So Kreese is like, but you're my fighter, Tory. You're my champion. Tory's like, I may be your champion, but I'm not your champion. And walks away. And theory. Yeah. So then after Tory's mom's death, off screen, Tory goes to Kreese and is like, okay, I'll rejoin you. As we see her on Cobra Kai's slot at the end of the first half. So, this was the life and history of Kreese, part 1. Because we still have part 2 and 3 left. But anyway, yeah. life and history of John Kreese in a 34-minute video. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, I have a lot of theories, like, how could Kreese get into the Sekai Takai? The Sekai Takai, I think that's spelled. How was he getting this Sekai Takai? I don't know how to spell it. How was he able to get in? Tory had to bring people to Cobra Kai. He had to get people to join. He had to get people to join. He had to bring the announcers to the dojo, but not Kreese. He's just able to register. He's just able to have a spot in the dojo without any having to get in. That's what's so dumb about this show sometimes. I love this show. It's one of my favorite shows. But even I can know when the show makes no sense. And this makes no sense. But also, welcome to reiterating plot point. Yeah, the show trying to tell us that Kreese is Johnny's weakness, like we don't know, is what's annoying about the second episode of season 2. The Kreese plotline is boring. That's what I can say. The Kreese subplot for this season is boring. I like Kreese as a character, but I find his subplot in this first half really, really boring. It does nothing for the plot except for to show that he's training for the Sekai Takai. Quan seems like the toughest fighter, but it's boring. People may agree with me. People may disagree and say, oh, I like the Kreese subplot. But I found it, me and my dad, found it very, very boring. Like, it was like the show was slowing down and there was nothing really happening. I know the video after this one, in the Hawk video, I'll probably, which I just did, but it'll be after this. Hawk went from a great character to rock bottom. But Kreese is he's just, like, either Kreese goes back to jail or he dies. But also, how's Kreese able to get from America to Korea to America to Spain? Like, literally, how is he able to get back from Korea to America to Spain without no one looking at him and being like, dude, aren't you a wanted man? Like literally. Wouldn't someone look at the airport and be like, I'm sorry, sir, you look like a guy who's supposed to be dead or in jail. But no, he's able to get between 3 countries without any problem. But anyway, yeah. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for my Kenny video that I'll probably do soon. And, yeah. This was a good video to make. I like Kreese, I like storyline, but yeah. See you next time. But remember, we are badass, but we have our balance. Except for Kreese, because they really did him dirt. They bored me with him, and he's not meant to be boring. But anyway, aside from that, see you next time.